So I'm going to do the start of basically the interact. Um, the class that we are going to build, we can build a new C++ class, but I'm actually going to go to my content draw to my C++ classes. And I'm going to go to, here is the AI revisited character. Yeah, this is, so I'm going to create a class derived from that character. And the reason here is that we are basically extending what our character's doing. So this is, again, I should have done this in a previous class. So I'm just going to create this is going to be, I'm just going to call it interactable character. And I'll create the class. So in here, I'm going to just grab one of the actions. Jump. I'll grab the jump action version. So I am going to make this public. And this is going to be the action. I am going to also, so all of this right here, I'm going to grab, I'm going to make them public as well. And the other thing I wanted to make public was the, but I am going to grab the setup, and we're going to add that. All right. Let's get the. So I'm going to grab this function right here. So we can jump back to our interactive character. And this will be linked to our interactable character. Just jump back and we'll grab input action value. I'll grab these right here. We'll put these into our all right. Because we're inheriting from the other class, we're going to use super. So basically, we're calling our parent. So basically, we're going to grab this and just plug that right into here. And so basically, everything that we've done in the revisited character. So my project's called AI Revisited. That's the class we inherited from. We don't need to do any mapping inputs. All of these inputs right here, I'm going to leave the jumping action, just one. But I don't need any of these at all in play. What I do need in my here, I do need one more function. It's going to be a I'm just going to call it perform world trace for our purposes right now. And I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to jump down in here, outside of the class. Sorry, outside of the function. So I will attach it to the class. Can you sit down, please? So this is going to be the function that gets called over here. And it will also be, let's grab the whole thing. And then I'm just going to grab the interaction. And I'm just going to grab the log right here. Rather than error, it's going to be a warning. I'll grab as much as. And I need another brace. There we go. So basically I have this, so I basically have something this function is doing when I press E. I will grab, I'll copy that, and I'll go jump into my output log, and I'll put that in for right now. Save. All right, I'll compile this. What have I done? Okay, let's now jump into the blueprints here. We're going to make a duplicate of it, and this is going to be the BP Lab 09 pawn. There we go. Close you guys. All right, so we're going to open up the full blueprint editor. Go to the class settings, and then we're going to go here to not the revised character. We're going to go, this is going to be our interactable character. And I think I've renamed it something different. The C++ class is, I think I called it, I think I've got it named differently named differently. I'm actually going to tell you to use this name. I'm going to rewrite the document to tell you to use this name. Compile. Let's get rid of these. We don't need these nodes. Okay, just want to make sure that it's compiled. So now we have our pawn. Basically, we've moved our pawn to the new character class that we're using. Though we do need to go into our content draw, go to input. We do need to add an action, input action, IA, interact. Let's go to our mappings. We'll add the interact. And I'll set it up for E right now. As you go on, you'll probably set up, hey, gamepad, whatnot, other things here as well. But we'll just worry about the keyboard and mouse for right now. Save the default mappings. Now we can go to the pawn itself. No, it's input. And assign the interact action. It's interesting that the interaction came on first on the list because, again, this is inherited from the other class. So it added up to the top. That's interesting, Unreal thing. We can save this. And then we can go in our third person map, go to our world settings. What we need to do next is we need to create a let's go to our C++ classes. Here's our game mode. Just to make our lives easier, let's create a blueprint class based on the game mode. This is so we can change the values here. And we'll put this into third person blueprints. This is going to be the interact game mode. And we'll save it. And then we'll go into the default pawn class is going to be our BP09 pawn. Compile. Save it all. Close you. We can close you now. And then we can set the press E, and we can go to the output log, and you can see that, warning, perform world trace, and that's the this line right here. So we know that our input is working, and this is the first thing. And so literally from here, the next thing that you would do is then, okay, do world trace. If find an interactable object, call on use event. And that's basically this is the setup pieces that you will need. I'm going to back off and I'll let you think about, again, pretty straightforward of what you need to do here in terms of getting things set up. This is probably the most complicated piece because it's about, it's basically a shell game about replacing, we're basically replacing the parent, we're adding a new class in the hierarchy. If we go back to this is not where I want to go. Yeah, so we could say we create a new blueprint class. Let's look at all of the classes. We look at the interactable character. It's inheriting from that class. Again, that our blueprint is inheriting from interactable character. If we look at so here is BP Lab 09. If we just go to character, you can see here is that blueprint class. Here is the new class we've slurred inherited from, and then we've got our blueprint class here. So this is the getting this set up correctly is the key piece. Again, we've got the C++ class. Again, here's the A bot CPP, and the blueprint version of it. Save the map. Let me close this.